Her voice filled the room before I even stepped through the doorway. It was loud enough to echo, loud enough to cut through the quiet I'd spent years building. She was on speakerphone with her mother. "He'll never know about the abortion. I'm not ruining my body for his kid." The words hit like a clean shot to the chest, no hesitation, no tremor of guilt in her tone, just calm practicality. My hand froze on the doorframe. The scent of her perfume lingered in the air, something floral, delicate, deceitfully soft. I didn't move, didn't breathe. Her mother's voice murmured something back, muffled. She laughed, a sound I used to love. My world collapsed in silence. Not an explosion, just the quiet folding of trust. When she ended the call, I was still standing there. She looked up. Our eyes met for half a second. She smiled, unaware. "You're home early." I said nothing, just walked past her, each step deliberate. In the bedroom, I pulled open the drawer where the marriage license sat, untouched since the day we signed it. I stared at it for a long moment before closing it again. That afternoon, I filed for divorce. The next morning, she was served at her Pilates studio. They say betrayal feels like fire. They're wrong. It's colder than ice. I watched her crumble when the papers arrived. She called me 6 times. I didn't answer. I didn't need to hear the rehearsed confusion, the performance of innocence. That night, she showed up at the apartment. Her makeup was perfect, but her eyes were frantic. "I don't understand," she said. "Why would you—" I closed the door before she could finish. Because I understood too much. I didn't need to ask who the father was. The truth sat heavy in my gut like something I'd swallowed whole. Still, the mind wants proof. It wants the cold, clean certainty that emotion can't corrupt. I started small, checking bank records, old text backups, medical insurance statements. Tiny threads that unraveled more than I was ready for. The dates lined up. The timeline was perfect. Too perfect. She'd been calculating it all while smiling at me across the dinner table. Love had been a transaction. My devotion, collateral. I didn't confront her, not yet. Confrontation gives power to the guilty. Instead, I became invisible. Polite, predictable. I answered her texts with short replies, met her eyes without flinching. Inside, I was documenting everything. She didn't notice the envelope I left at the clinic, requesting records under my insurance name. She didn't see me watching from across the cafe when she met the man in the gray jacket. He touched her wrist like it was routine. I learned his name, his job, his face. He was forgettable. Ordinary, the kind of man who mistakes quietness for weakness. Every night I rehearsed silence. Silence is control, and control was the only thing that kept me from burning the whole world down. When the clinic report arrived, I sat in the dark, the paper trembling between my fingers. Abortion confirmed. 6 weeks. 2 weeks before our anniversary. The dates didn't lie. She had. I called her, my voice steady. "Dinner tonight?" She hesitated. "You want to talk?" "Yes." I made reservations at the restaurant where I proposed to her. The irony was almost poetic. She arrived wearing the same shade of red lipstick she wore that night. A performance of normalcy. I let her talk first. Small talk, laughter forced through nervous teeth. When the waiter left, I placed a single sheet of paper between us. Her hands froze. "What's this?" "Your truth," I said. She unfolded it slowly. The color drained from her face. "I can explain." I leaned back, calm, detached. No need. Tears welled. The same eyes that once held love now pleaded for mercy. She whispered, "I was scared. I didn't know what to do." I watched her break, piece by piece. I didn't feel pity, only precision. For the first time, the balance shifted. A week later, I mailed copies of the report. To her mother, to her employer, to the man she'd been seeing. No words, just evidence. Truth doesn't need commentary. By the next morning, her social world had imploded. The man quit his job. Her mother stopped answering her calls. And me? I slept for the first time in weeks. She showed up one last time, rain soaking her coat, mascara running. "You destroyed me," she whispered. I met her eyes. "No, you did." She waited for anger, for shouting. All she got was silence. I closed the door. It's strange how peace doesn't feel like victory. It feels like emptiness, shaped like freedom. I kept the divorce papers in a drawer for a week before signing them. No music played, no drink to celebrate, just pen to paper. Final. The house is quiet now. Her perfume has faded. The air feels lighter. Sometimes I think about that phone call, the casual cruelty of her voice. It used to echo. Now it's just background noise. I don't hate her anymore. Hate still means you care, and I don't. When people ask why the marriage ended, I tell them the truth. She answered her own call. Then I walk away and never look back.